I've spent 20 years building products across Fortune 500s and startups, companies like Google, Facebook, Sony, NBC Universal, and I kept running into the same question. What separates products people tolerate from products people love? So we went through more than 400 top product leaders and pulled out actual frameworks, how they find fit, drive growth, and create value. Every week, we explore one area to help you build better product in the age of AI. I'm Steve Saper, and this is the Product Briefing. My client, a global media brand, spent $3 million building features nobody wanted. It cost us 9 months, 20 engineers, $3 million in development costs, zero benefit to anyone. Wasted effort. It sounded incredible in the boardroom, machine learning algorithms, personalization, predictive analytics, the works. We launched it, pushed it to 2 million users. Nothing. Nobody used it. Zero measurable outcomes. Turns out our customers didn't care about AI recommendations. They wanted basic recommendations from people around them. We built the wrong thing, plain and simple. But here's what's crazy. There was a simple 3-question test that would have caught this on day one, prevented a major investment, redirected it to something more useful early on. Now, people like Todd Jackson, former VP of product at Facebook, Dropbox, and Gmail, used this framework extensively and spoke about it in great detail on a number of occasions, including most recently a Lenny Rachitsky interview. Todd launched 12 products across those companies and used the same repeatable pattern for validating product market fit. In this video, I'm breaking down this exact framework, showing you the Google Form template. I use a PM33 and sharing the results from our current PMF testing. Let's get into it. First, a quick context on why you should listen to Todd Jackson. He's the guy who led product at Gmail in the early 2000s, built Facebook's newsfeed and photo features, and was VP of product for both Twitter and Dropbox. He's launched 12 products across those companies. Now he's partnered at First Round Capital, a seed stage VC firm that invested in companies like Uber, Warby Parker, and Square. So when Todd talks about product market fit, I listen. So should you. This framework comes from his interview in Lenny's podcast, episode 147. Full credit to Lenny Rachitsky for making this available and Todd for sharing it. I'll link to both Todd and Lenny and handles in the description, plus the original episode if you want to go deeper. So here's what happened with the client. By the way, huge household name. It's under NDA. I can't disclose who it is, but invested millions in this product feature that they thought was going to revolutionize and kind of give them a competitive edge. It turned out it wasn't what customers wanted. So they had this vision to build an AI-powered content recommendation for streaming sports. We spent $3 million building this feature, 9 months of engineering time with a team of 20 developers. Launch day came, we were excited, we pushed it live, and nothing. Crickets. Nothing changed. The usage patterns didn't change. The number of subscribers didn't change. Just, nothing. So what customers wanted basically was peer-based recommendations, view counts, engagement metrics, the simple stuff that they can relate to. We built the wrong thing. And we would have known that on day one if we had asked 3 simple questions, right? So 3 simple questions. Here's the framework. Question 1, how disappointed would you be if this product disappeared? Question 2, what percentage of users return week 1 and month 1? Question 3, what percentage of signups are organic, not from paid ads? Each question has a specific threshold you need to hit to validate the product market fit. Let's break them down. So question 1, how disappointed would you be if this product disappeared? You survey 50 to 100 users. You give them 4 options, very disappointed, somewhat disappointed, not disappointed, no longer using this product. The magic number is 40%, and you'll hear this number repeated in this episode over and over again. If more than 40% are very disappointed, you've validated product market fit. If you're between 25 and 40%, you're close. Keep iterating on positioning and messaging. Don't build more features yet. If you're below 25%, you don't have PMF. Go back to customer discovery, learn about what it is that you're building and problem that you're trying to solve. This is called the Sean Ellis test. It's named after Sean Ellis. If you don't know who he is, look up his book, look up his videos. He coined the term growth hacking, right? So Sean surveyed hundreds of products, Dropbox, LogMeIn, Eventbrite, and found that 40% was the threshold. Companies that hit 40% went on to build massive businesses. Companies below 40% struggled. And here's why this works. It measures emotional attachment, not the rational satisfaction. If the users would be very disappointed without the product, I mean, it's simple. They're not going to churn. They'll pay, right? They'll refer their friends. They're integrated into the platform. They're using it in their workflow, right? And so at PM33, we're testing this right now with our positioning extraction feature. We surveyed 60 users or so, and 62% say they'd be very disappointed. So pretty happy with those results. I mean, the jury's still out on whether that translates to retention and revenue, but it's a promising signal. So we've hit 40% threshold and, pretty happy with that number. Compared that to my client's TV recommendation engine, they had 12% in the first week. So not a great number, not a great stat. That number alone should have stopped us for spending another 2 million in feature expansion. But we ignored it, right? It wasn't part of the focus at the time, and it cost us. Question 2, what percentage of users return week 1, month 3? This is your retention cohort analysis. And again, you're looking for that 40% number for week 1. For month 1, you're looking for greater than 30%. And for month 3, you're looking for greater than 20%. So 40, 30, 20. If you hit these thresholds, you've validated your product market fit from the retention perspective. Here's the reality. At our client, our week 1 retention was 12%. Brutal, right? So users would sign up, browse, run into the feature, use it, and never use it again, basically, right? And that should have told us something, right? But we weren't paying attention, right? We thought we needed more features, right? And that was the signal that we missed. We should have stopped building features and focused on onboarding, making it more intuitive, making first-time experience more valuable. Instead, we kept shipping. We kept adding features, expanding complexity, and it just reduced retention. So at PM33, our week 1 retention is 38%, not quite 40 yet, but getting close. We're iterating on onboarding now, reducing time to first value from 10 minutes to 2 minutes, testing different activation triggers, improving the first run experience. The key insight is retention is the leading indicator of the product market fit. I don't care about your adoption. I don't care about NPS. I don't even care about revenue at this stage as much. It's really about retention. And if users return week after week, if they're getting ongoing value, that's it. If they don't return, you build a nice to have, not a must have, and you need to take another look. And here's sort of what's interesting and not sort of obvious is the shape of this curve really matters more than single point measurements, right? And so the good retention curve is you have a steep drop week 1, it plateaus at week 4, and then there's a slow decline after that. The bad retention curve is where you have a linear decline from week 1 onward. This means that users never plateau. There's no habit formation. They just churn. The difference between feature people try once and a product they integrate into this workflow can be measured with this chart. The shape of the curve tells you the difference between the feature people try once and the product they integrate into their workflow. And then the question 3, what percentage of signups are organic, meaning not from paid ads? You're looking for 40% organic growth. And if you're driving all your growth through paid acquisition, you don't have a product market fit. You have a paid growth problem. Product market fit means people are telling their friends, they're sharing your product organically. You have word of mouth growth. And here's how to measure this. Number 1, you should be tracking your NPS. I said earlier, it doesn't matter. It does. It's just not as important as retention. Ask users, how likely are you to recommend this product to a friend? And the target you should be looking for is about 50%. Track your referral rate. What percentage of users refer to at least one friend? You should be looking for 10% or higher. Many of my clients, what I've seen in practice is actually have negative NPS for their products, right? So people are actually telling their customers not to use them. And obviously that is a problem. That would be a problem. At PM33, 44%, getting close to 50, and 9% of users have referred at least one person. So we're getting close to these benchmarks. 55% of our signups are organic from Google search, word of mouth, LinkedIn. And what's not obvious actually is that most PMs tend to optimize for NPS too early. What do I mean by that? They survey users, PMF, and get false positive. They ask their friends like, hey, would you recommend it? And it was like, yeah, I'd recommend this. Maybe, if someone asked. And that's not real NPS. I mean, real NPS comes from unprompted referrals that you measure in real life. So track this instead. What percentage of users refer before you ask them to, right? So at Sony, we had this big referral program with incentives. I mean, it was great for revenue, but in terms of NPS, I mean, we gave $50 Amazon gift cards for successful referrals. So lots of people referred, high NPS, right? So again, good for revenue, but not so good at measuring how good our product was. But when we removed the incentives, referrals dropped 90%. So that's not product market fit. I mean, that's primary, right? So real product market fit, users refer because the product is so valuable, they'd feel guilty not sharing it with their colleagues, right? So that's the key distinction. So how do you apply this tomorrow, right? I mean, I think that's really the question you should all be asking right now. And step one is the PMF survey form, right? So I'm going to give you a link to my Google form down in the description below. Just copy it and send it to 50 to 100 users, put it in your Google workspace, and it's good to go. You can slap your logo on it if you want, and survey most engaged users first, right? So look for people who have logged in 3 or more times into your platform. You want signal, not noise. Like you don't care about people that would are just browsing whatever and never came back. So step two would be to set up retention tracking, meaning we use PostHog at PM33. There are companies like Mixpanel or Amplitude. I'm not affiliated with any of these, but PostHog is free for startups, and that's kind of how we ended up using them. And they're so far so good. But they give us what we need. So you need to define what active user means for your product. So what is the one action that indicates that someone got value? At PM33, it's running like positioning extraction, doesn't matter. And many of my clients, it was different. For you, it's going to be different, right? So then track week one, month three cohorts, right? And we mentioned the 40% is your week one target, right? And then segment users by role, company size, and use case, right? And then look for patterns, right? So which segments hit 40% week one? That's your ideal customer profile. So if you can look at these different cohorts and segments and try to understand who are those people that keep coming back, that's your ICP. Go talk to them. Go find out as much as you can about how they're using your product, why they're using it, why is it important to them? You're going to learn a lot. It's going to benefit everything you do. It's going to benefit your product, your marketing, your revenue, ultimately, your retention. All of these things are going to start clicking when you understand who are those people that keep coming back to your product and why. And then, understanding how do you make the product even more valuable to them. And then step three is measuring your organic growth. Tag every sign up with its source, organic paid referral, calculate the percentage that are organic, and track your NPS score quarterly. Only count unprompted referrals, obviously. We spoke about that. Don't count referrals from an incentive program. It's going to give you false information that's going to look good on paper, but not really be beneficial. At PM33, we track this via UTM parameters in the sign up URL. It's pretty easy to do. Just have your developer for coding AI implement this for you, and you'll be running in no time. And then step four is iterate based on results. So if you validated product market fit and you have 40% across all three metrics, scale your growth. I mean, you're onto something here, right? Like you're about to go big. Like, this may be a unicorn. Expand features carefully, hire quickly, right? Like hire first sales rep, scale your growth, invest in paid acquisition, invest in ads. You're going to have good ROAS, the return on ad spend. And if you're close, 25 to 40%, iterate on positioning, messaging, onboarding. Don't build more features, right? Look at what you have. Look at, how you can reposition it, repackage it better. At PM33, we're in this iterate phase. 62% said very disappointed to not have our product if it was pulled away, but 38% week one retention. So we got some work to do there, an opportunity to close that gap. And so we're focused on onboarding improvements, not feature expansion. If you're below 25%, you got to go back to customer discovery. Talk to 50 more users, understand what they're trying to do. Don't build, don't scale. You'll get there eventually. Just learn, right? Like put things in front of them, have discussions, ask questions, learn. That's the discipline. Don't build more until you validate the PMF. So quick recap, 3-question PMF test. 1, survey users. How disappointing would it be if the product disappeared? Target 40%. To be very disappointed if your product wasn't available to them. Question 2, track retention cohorts. Week 1, month 3, target 40, 30, 20%. Step 3, measure organic growth, signups, NPS referrals, target 40%. I want to give full credit to Todd Jackson. You can follow him on Twitter and LinkedIn, and Lenny Rachitsky for sharing their experience in their episode. I'm going to link both of them in the comments below. Thank you for listening. I've also linked my exact PMF survey template. It's a Google form, so you can copy and send it to users today. Just, put your logo on it and you're good to go. And if you want to see how we're applying this at PM33, I wrote a full case study on the blog, on our website. There's a lot of detail there on what's working and what's not. And if you run this test and you want to share your result, tag me on Twitter or just comment down and below. And that's it for this video. So if you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more product frameworks, and I'll see you in the next one.